Let's talk Tanya for the 27th of Kislev. We're in the middle of our discussion, our exploration of the godly soul. And in yesterday's Tanya, we finished talking about the core components and the structure of the godly soul, the intellect and the emotions. And today we are going to talk about how all this plays out in terms of our behavior. When Tanya talks about our behavior, behavior is divided into three parts. There is machshava, dibur, and maisa. Thought, willful thought, conscious thought, speech, and action. And these three together collectively, the Alter Rebbe calls them levushim, garments. They are the garments of the soul. Why are these called garments? Well, the clothing that we wear, the garments that we wear, they are not part of who we are, but they express who we are. We wear clothing which represent ourselves to the world. The same thing is also thought, speech, and action. They are not who we are. They are expressions of who we are. Because I feel a certain way, so I speak a certain way, I think a certain way, I behave a certain way. Because of my perspective on life, my understandings, also, that leads me to act in certain ways, speak in certain ways, and to think in certain ways. But it's very important to understand, these are not me, these are garments. And therefore, by the way, it's possible for me to actually behave in ways that don't reflect who I am, just like I could wear a suit that doesn't fit me or that doesn't represent who I am. But ultimately, when we have certain understandings and we have certain feelings, that's going to lead us to behave in a certain way. So these garments are the garments of the godly soul, thought, speech, and action. And to be more specific, my understandings, the understandings of the godly soul, they express themselves in the study of Torah and understanding the greatness of God. And the feelings of the godly soul, so as we said yesterday, the feelings divide into two general categories of feelings. There's the category of feeling which is love. Because I love God, I want to be near to God, so that leads me to do mitzvahs, to speak words of Torah. In other words, the thought, speech, and action which God wants me to do and which connect me to God. And then there is, on the other side, there's the other set of emotions which are awe and reverence. And because I am in awe of God and I revere God, so therefore, I abstain from doing anything which God doesn't want me to do. So we see how we have this entire structure of who I am reflects itself in the garments of the soul. It reflects itself in my thought, speech, and action. Now, normally you would say, what is more important? What is more significant? Who I am or my garments? Obviously, who I am is more significant than my garments. And the same thing is also in a relationship. What's more significant? My perspectives and my feelings about the person with whom I'm having the relationship, or my behaviors? Now, you might say my behaviors are more significant, but that's not really correct. Anything that I do for someone who I love is only significant because it is an expression of my love. That same act, if it was sterile, if it didn't have any feelings inside it, wouldn't be significant or important whatsoever. Ultimately, yes, actions are important, but only because they express the relationship, and the relationship is in the feelings and in the perspective. So therefore, one might think also that in terms of our relationship with God, what's most important is my understandings of God, my feelings about God, and that reflects itself in my behavior. But the behavior is only important in as much as it is an expression of the essential relationship, which is an internal relationship. In tomorrow's Tanya, we will find out how that is actually not the case in our relationship with God.